Hi, this is Joe, and welcome to Moose Jaw RC. Today we're going to look at a rat rod of a SCX10 that I've had for a couple years. I bought it used for about 200 bucks, and I'm about to revamp it, put a new body, clean everything up. Aftermarket parts I've put into this is a Savix 1210 waterproof servo, and also a Yeah Racing Desert Lizard shock. You see I also installed Vanquish Stage 1, C-hubs and knuckles, Incision links, Incision drive shaft, even Yeah Racing, I believe, rotor hubs, K&K hexes, get a little wider. The weight oil that I have in these shocks are 30 weight, though I kind of recommend 20 or 25. Little details you can see, I added some silver Tamiya paint to the axles, just to be more realistic. When I bought this, it came with a G-Speed low center of gravity flat chassis. I mocked up a battery tray, a Holmes Hobby 45 turn motor with a Hobby Wing 1080C ESC, and then Incision beadlock wheels, aluminum. One thing that I must have in all my rigs is inner fenders. I like hiding the wires and also creating some shade, shadow inside the wheel well. I cut a stencil, shaped it up with some old styrene, and we're gonna cut some and put them on the front. Just a 30 gauge styrene sheet, and we cut away. Styrene is real easy to work with. It's very user friendly. You see we cut here. We're just gonna do this process twice. Ream some holes there. Some are larger so you have access to the hardware, but some are smaller so you can attach the styrene to the chassis. I use a 220 gauge sandpaper, sand the edges, shape, and voila, you got two pieces. And then you mount them up, make some adjustments. You see a little binding there at that one. Just take my reamer, make it a little bit larger, and refit. One thing that I've learned about creating inner fenders, don't paint the body ahead of time. It's easier to see, better fitting, better measurements, as you can see here. We're going to go with 2 inches on each side, and then I simply eyeballed the length. You can still measure it, but I just went with the lengthwise of the top portion of the styrene sheet, and here you go. One step that I did is when I had the side pieces in, I drew the arc of the wheel well in there. And then I took my pieces, I took 25-second cure glue, hold it in place longer because you use a little bit more, and perfect. With this, I'm not trying to achieve perfect scale. I'm trying to create shadows, and also that you can't see through, no light comes through with these fender wells. As we look up front, I leave room for my headlight lights, my future headlight lights that I'm going to put on there that could go up and over. Nice and organized wiring. And again, keeping it clear, I can see where maybe the styrene's touching, and I can make little trims and adjustments to get a better fit. I'm really happy the way it turns out. I think it looks great. As you can see underneath the hood, I made a little plate of styrene there and just kind of cut 2 holes for the body post and trim that down. I'm going to put a future piece of Velcro there. I've done this plenty of times. It works really well, and I'm really happy with it. I think it looks great. You really got to plan ahead with this Proline Dodge Ram Charger body. With the interior, the dashboard, and even the shell and the body itself, it takes a lot of planning ahead of time to get it just right the way you want it, and I think I achieved that. As we take off the body, you can see I went with the Axial SCX10 JK sliders. I reversed them though. I put them in on a different side and put them in a different order. I trimmed off the edges there to kind of conform with the body better, and I think it looks great. Definitely blocks out a lot of the stuff underneath as well. I inserted a Viterra gas tank just for scale, and then I also added my spare tire there that just to, again, create some shadow, block some light, and be more scale as well. Just an added touch, what I did with the wheel, it's just an old Axial spare tire, but I painted underneath silver just so maybe you kind of see it. It's not the true tread like the Proline KR2s, but it gets what I want across. To attach the body, I usually use body post pins for the back, but in the front I always make this plate, attach some Velcro, easy to do, drill the holes in there. I have a mocked up battery tray here that is screwed into the front bumper brace, and I will zip tie it to a rod that crosses from the back. And again, it's almost ready to paint. It's starting to look good. Everything's tightened up, looking good, and gonna even be better. That's the end of this episode of Vlog 1 on the revamped SCX10. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit like, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a suggestion for others to read on how to revamp their SCX10. I hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.